changes.
Hey, good evening, Rockstars. Welcome back to the RockstarFlipper YouTube channel, and thank you guys so much for joining me on this Tuesday, January 22nd, 2019, day after MLK, which means you guys shipped a whole bunch of packages today. Put it in the comments section. How many packages did you guys ship between Friday and Monday? eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, Etsy, all the above combined. Let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing about how much money and how much business you guys are doing. It's awesome, especially on those long holiday weekends where we get one extra day to take pictures of all those extra packages that we shipped out and put them all over social media. It's awesome to see all of you doing so well. Today's story, you read the title, you jumped into the video because you're like, do what? eBay sold? Let me explain it to you. I'm gonna put it in simple English because I had to read the story like 47 times to understand anything that was going on. But eBay has had a very interesting past as far as its investors, its board of directors, the companies that own stock and percentage in it. And let's fast forward, let's rewind to 2015. A huge investment firm and fund and hedge fund manager owned by a guy named Carl Icahn. He's huge in the investment world and money. He convinced eBay to get rid of PayPal. And so that's a whole other story for a whole other time. You guys know the whole eBay PayPal story anyways. But it took eBay about a year to actually follow through and listen to what Carl was saying. But he figured if eBay could cut ties with PayPal as its payment processor, that eBay could obviously save the fees that PayPal was collecting and put them into their own pocket, and also the interest on the money, which is a genius. Of course that makes sense. Like, hey, instead of letting PayPal collect the fees, we're gonna collect the fees. Duh, like brain freeze. And I'm no hedge fund manager or CEO or Fortune 500 or any of that, but there had to be reasons why it took that long. There had to be contracts in place and legal reasons and financial reasons that are way above my pay grade and pretty much everyone's pay grade except Carl Icahn, who's a multi-billionaire. So with that said, his 2015 suggestion into 2016, which again took them a whole nother year into 2017 in order to finally come to terms with it, in order to announce it last year, ended up working out and being good, and eBay loves it, and that's awesome. So now there's a new set of partners. They own 4% of eBay. They're called Elliott Management. They're a hedge fund manager, and also there's a second one who's echoing their terms, and they also own a little bit less than 4%. They're called StubHub Value Partners. So these two companies together own like 7.5–8% of eBay as outside investors, and they're calling on eBay to do two things. One is sell their stock in their ownership in StubHub and Classifieds. Do any of you know what StubHub is? If you don't, Google it. But StubHub is a ticket sales, a third-party ticket sales venue. They have an app. They have a website. They're awesome. I've purchased off of them. It's a place for people that own tickets to big concerts, you know, Jay-Z or Celine Dion or Britney Spears or U2 or whatever you have tickets to. You can go on there. You can sell your tickets. You can sometimes lose money, sometimes make money. There's a lot of people that have a business rotating around StubHub, reselling tickets that sell out really quickly. You know, Jay-Z tickets sell out in 30 seconds. You buy a ticket for $300. You go on StubHub, you put it up for $600. Somebody can't get a ticket. They want to go to Jay-Z. They have to be a Jay-Z. They'll pay you the $600 because they don't have a choice. It's supply and demand. We know how that works. So StubHub is a company that eBay makes $300 million in revenue off of. $300 million in revenue, not 100% sure on their profit. It's probably pretty good though. And it's valued at about $3 billion, which is 10 times earnings, which is pretty high. Most companies value out at like 2 or 3 times earnings. So which means if your company does $1 million a year, it's probably worth 2 or 3 million based on profits and EBITDA and all that. But StubHub is valued at 10 times. It does 300 million, it's valued at over 3 billion. So these investment partners that own this percentage of eBay have talked eBay into, well, they haven't talked them into it. They're trying to talk them into selling StubHub, and also eBay owns classifieds like Kijiji that they bought, some other classified sites, Canada, I believe, and some other ones that also do similar $200 or $300 million in sales. They want them to sell the assets and collect $3, $4, $5 billion, which sounds okay. Like, okay, let's sell off a part of it. And the reason they wanted to sell them off is to focus on the core eBay business. Well, that's great. I love that idea. Like, stop worrying about selling tickets, stop worrying about classifieds, focus on eBay's site and making it better. eBay's current stock price is like $31 or $32. They think that if eBay sold off these assets, this StubHub and this classified, that eBay stock could go up to $50 or $60, which is pretty high thinking. I mean, that's pretty through the stratosphere to say that you could double a stock, but especially one of eBay's size. But hey, even if it just goes up a little bit, $5, $10, $15, that's really good for eBay, which could in turn be good for sellers. Now, the second thing that these investors are discussing is that a potential buyer of eBay's core marketplace. Once StubHub and the classifieds have been sold and they're gone, once PayPal's contract is nil and gone, which is next year, 2020 into 2023, but really the contract officially ends next year. Once all that is separate, that the core eBay business, which does like 9 or 10 billion in sales, could essentially be worth 15 billion for a cash buyer. Now, who are the cash buyers? There's not a whole lot of companies that would be interested in eBay or that have that kind of money, or a combination of both. Not to say eBay isn't desirable, of course it is, but you gotta have companies that can afford it and would have a reason to buy it. And so two companies initially come to mind to these investors. One is Google. They're called Alphabet Inc. now, they're not called Google. Google is their company, DBA, doing business as, but they're called Alphabet, and 15 billion is an attractive price for them because apparently in the past, that's what they valued eBay's core, just the core business, at $15 billion. So with that being said, would Google be a good fit to buy eBay? Well, let's think about it. Google owns search rankings, right? Google decides what listings, if you Google a Michael Kors t-shirt, when you get your results, is it a Poshmark result? Is it an Amazon result? Is it an eBay result? Is it Etsy? Is it Craigslist? What comes up first? Google decides that based on some algorithm that no one knows. Could they manipulate that algorithm, make sure that eBay is always at the top if they owned eBay? I feel like they could. The problem with that is, does it become a monopoly? Does then the federal government step in, the FAA, or the FCC, not the FAA, the FCC, or the FAA is Federal Aviation, their planes. FCC is the federal, FTC is the Federal Trade Commission. They decide, you know, what's fair, what's monopoly, what's not, what's too big, who owns too much market cap, etc. Would they decide that if Google owned eBay and they were putting eBay's listings up in the search results, that wasn't fair? And I think that they would. So I don't think that Google might not be the best fit because they wouldn't be able to do what they wanted to do with eBay. The second runner-up to who might be interested in eBay is Walmart. Would Walmart be a good buyer for eBay at $15 billion? Well, I think that Walmart could take advantage of eBay's online. I don't think Walmart has the best online space. They have a Walmart marketplace that they've kind of been focusing on and working on. Some of you guys here, and comment below if you do, actually sell on Walmart's marketplace. And owning eBay could absolutely be an asset to Walmart. Now, is Walmart willing to pay $15 billion to take over the online commerce world and everything that comes with it? I don't know. I can't see Walmart really doing that. The federal government is not going to allow Amazon to buy eBay. You can bet on that. Not to mention, I don't think eBay would ever let that happen. But the fact that Google and Walmart are even considering the possibility, and so the spokespeople haven't come out and said, hey, we want to buy them. It's just rumors, but it's pretty good educated rumors, and it's from some pretty big investors and pretty big people. The fact that they're considering it is pretty big news, and I want to know what you guys think. Do you think it's in eBay's best interest to sell the company? Do you think that somebody else could do a better job? How do you think they could do a better job? Why? What? Who? I want to hear what you guys think down in the comment section, because I've always wondered this, like, would eBay ever sell the company? They've been in business 23 years, 95, 96. Would they ever consider selling to a bigger, you know, Walmart, Apple, Google, somebody that's much bigger than them that might be able to do something with the company? And so I'm going to leave that question to you guys in the comment section down below. Let me know if there's any other companies that you think might have a good stake in buying them, or have a good reason to buy them. By all means, let me know about that as well, and we'll see what everybody has to think. It's just an interesting topic. It's an interesting question. I don't think it's going to happen for at least 1 to 2 years. Don't expect eBay to be sold in 2019. Probably don't expect them to be sold in 2020. If at any point in time eBay ever did approach the subject of being sold, at least 2 to 3 more years down the road, if not longer, unless something drastic happens. So that's kind of just my take on it. It was breaking news. It was across CNBC. Again, they'll be up here the whole time you're watching this video, probably in the corners. I'll also link the news stories below as well. And I'll wait to see what comments you guys have. Thank you so much, as always, for watching and listening. I appreciate it. I expect to see tons of comments because you guys have some of the most creative opinions that I've ever seen on YouTube. So I do appreciate that as well. And as always, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have the notifications turned on. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. I understand. And make sure you check out the description box and all the links down below to the website, to the Facebook, private Facebook group, to any Bolo list, social media videos, anything you need help with. It's all below, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you next time.